Hello and welcome to another episode of Stif TV. Today we've got something pretty exciting for you. It's a brand new bike to the Santa Cruz range, and yeah, we're going to run through it, we're going to build it, stop and talk about the new features of it. Now, it's a little different to most of the bikes in the Santa Cruz range, and that is because it has drop handlebars. So that means one thing, that is the new Santa Cruz Stigmata. So we'll go get it picked in the workshop, start building it, and we'll stop and talk about the new exciting features that that bike's got. So here we have it, the totally new, designed from the ground up again, Santa Cruz Stigmata. We have it here in the really cool olive colour, and it's also available in the mustard colour, and we'll stick a few shots in there for you guys to see that as well. So yeah, totally revised carbon layup here. So they've taken what they've learned from the highball, which you can kind of see from the dropped stays there. It's very similar to the cross-country hardtail. So they've done that to keep the bike really compliant, but also keep like the stiffness there that you would require from a bike like this. And they've actually also taken what they learned from Danny McCaskill's trials bike, again to help it compliant and perform the way you'd like it from a bike like this. So a few other little details, the tyre clearance has changed, so you can actually run at two different wheel and tyre combinations on this. You can run a 650B up to a 2.1 tyre, so for gravel riding and things like that, you're going to be able to get a really comfortable ride and heaps of grip from there from the wider tyre. Or if you wanted to go kind of like down the more road cyclocross route, you can run up to a 45mm wide tyre on a 700C, or you could go down to like a 28 if you wanted to be using it for really road specific, which you can do. You can run a full road group set on there, including front mech. It's not one by specific, which is great. And again, a few other little changes like the flat mount on the front and the rear, so it's kind of going to like a more of a road specific brake, which again is kind of like making everything a little bit neater and keeping group set options wide there. So yeah, we'll start building the bike now, and we'll stop and work through a few bits and pieces. handlebars is one area of this Stigmata that's seen a spec change throughout the range. You can see here we've gone to a flared handlebar. This is kind of, because the bike isn't so road specific anymore, it makes it a little bit more ergonomic and comfortable over long periods of time and off-road. Moving down to the fork, we've also seen quite a big change here as well. The fork has offset tailored to different sizes. So the two smaller sizes have a longer offset fork. This is to compensate for toe overlap because the front end of the bike is shorter. That makes the bike more prone to the toes hitting the front wheel when you're turning. So again, the larger frames have a shorter offset fork because this isn't such a problem, and then the smaller frames go for a longer offset fork to compensate for toe overlap there. This also has handling aspect change as well. So yeah, tailored to how different sizes you're going to ride. They've put a lot of thought into this, and yeah, it really does make a big difference out on the trail or on the road. So moving on, we've just installed the brakes and the drivetrain, and there are a couple of little updates here from the previous model. So starting off with the brakes, compared to the previous model Stigmata, we're now running flat mount style calipers. So again, continuing the trend of road compatible parts. So it kind of opens a few more doors to run in road group sets, depending on which route you want to go down when you're building your bike. Moving on to the group set, this one we're building it up with a SRAM Force Access, so no gear cables, just making it a dream to build, and the shifting is next level. But there's so many different group set options to choose from, and we'll be listing all those as well on the website, so you can check those out for yourselves. But there'll always be an option for whatever you want to do, whether it's gravel, road, there will be an option for that. And although we're running a 1x system here, you can use a clamp on front derailleur to run a 2x. A couple of other things to note while we haven't got the wheels in. There's a couple of little additions of mudguard mounts. So there's two really neat ones there, and in the bottom of the chainstays there, again, to mount in mudguards. So again, makes the bike super flexible and yeah, opens so many doors. Continuing on with the road market trends, with the new bike we have switched to 12mm bolt-through axles front and rear. With the previous model Stigmata we saw a lot of crossover between mountain bike standards onto that bike, such as 15mm bolt-through front axle and just standard post brake mounts. Whereas this one, as we can see, we're kind of like going more down the road route now, which opens a lot more doors to components that are available, wheel sets, and really leaves you with heaps of different options of what you can choose, and a lot of it is kind of more relevant to the bike's focus, such as the SRAM brakes we've got on here now. And yeah, it all just seems to work super well. Another thing to note with the versatility of the bike growing is we've seen a switch from a press fit bottom bracket to a threaded bottom bracket. So again, this is going to keep maintenance less frequent, it's going to keep the bike more reliable, and it's just a lot of better, simpler system in my opinion. And that's a wrap on our first build on the brand new Santa Cruz Stigmata, and it just looks insane. And I can't stress how good the access group set is. We've just set it up now and it's just crazy how smooth it is, how it keeps the lines of the bike looking so clean. So yeah, strongly recommend that choice there. As you can see, Ben's got one in the stand there in the mustard colour. So by the time you guys see this video, they will be available to order, and we do have stock of them. So yeah, keep a close eye on that, and there's so much scope for what you can do with this bike. It's internally drop route compatible as well, or if you really wanted to, if you've got that access, you can pair it with the eVerb, which will just make it even more insane and so integrated. So yeah, keep a lookout online. If you want any more info, feel free to give us a shout, and we will be getting out on this bike as well, so we can let you guys know our thoughts of it and comparing it to the previous Stigmata, and how it compares. So thanks for watching. Any questions, hit us up and keep an eye out for some more videos. Thanks.